So it's easy enough to create a forage feed bank in the program. You can do it just by creating a farm that you only put feeds in. You don't have to go through any of the details of adding any cows or any groups or anything to it. So let's do this. Let's call it forage, or you can just call it feed, whatever you want to call it. And then we're going to go straight to feeds. In the feed screen, you see that by default, it shows all of the active feed banks. If you're looking for a specific type of feed, you can search in this bar. Let's say you want to look for, you said ryegrass. So type in rye, just the start of it. And you can look down through here and you can actually look at some of the analysis here in the description will give you something. So you want to choose something that's fairly close to the analysis that you're going to import. So to choose one, and I'm just going to do this randomly, you just click on the arrow and it sends it over here. So think of this as this is a feed library where you can't edit feeds. Over here are farm feeds that you can edit. So once you get a number of feeds sent over, and maybe you want a couple different types of ryegrasses, maybe you want some wheat, I don't know what the forages might be that you're interested in, but you can do this sort of search process and just send things over. You can also first blank out this search for screen. And if you actually know the number that it would be designated in the CNCPS feed library, you can search by that source ID. But you can also just look at grain type forages or hay crop forages. Any of these things will winnow this list down. Once you have the feeds over, you can now either, and this is the less desirable option, you can either edit it here. So as you can see, my screen has some fairly good contrast between the rows, so I can tell easily what screens I want to edit in. But you can go ahead and you can go down through here. You can change this name. I recommend that you do. Put in a name that's meaningful to you, and then go down through and just change these values. Enter anything you want. And I'm just putting in random numbers just for the heck of it, just to show you that you can change these. Once you've done that, you have to click this Update Values button, and that will make these values changed. Now the alternative way to do this, and really preferable, is if you have a standard XML feed analysis from one of the 4 major labs, and I think in Australia Dairy One for sure I know has an affiliate lab. I don't know about the other labs, but I'm sure there are some. And you're going to want to use this import feed analysis tool. So to do this, you would have stored your feed analysis file, and there's a whole video on the file structure of the program that you can just look at to see how you would do that. But I'm just going to choose at random one of these feed analysis files that I have in my folder. And then I'm going to choose which one, if there's more than one analysis on that value, and then I'm going to match it to my desired library feed. And if you did not bring in a library feed that matches this analysis close enough, you can also import from your active feed banks just by using that button. But anyways, just for demonstration purposes, I'll choose this one. I'm actually going to rename this feed, and I'm going to call it the rye hay. I know that's not a thing, but there we go. And can't spell today. Then if I choose to, I can go ahead and transfer the values, and it tells me that this is not reversible. That's fine with me. So I transferred the values. Now it doesn't close out this window because it gives you the opportunity to go back and bring in another analysis if you want to. So my advice would be is to get all of your analyses that you want, if you're having them analyzed, get them in the proper folder, which, to just give you a quick tip on that, it's going to be using the file function. Let me drag that over here, File Explorer. It's the files for AMTS, the local files, are held on your documents. Golly, this is a mess. Documents, AMTS, amts.cattle.pro, and then in my case, I would be saving my feed analysis files in this folder right here, which is what I've done. And those are feed analysis file that maybe I've downloaded or someone has emailed me. At any rate, that's where I save them when I get them. So that's the program is pointed to those and it knows to get that. So we'll just close this. Now, the next step, and this is what you'll want to share with the students, is maybe you want to create a feed bank of just forages. So you've got your farm feeds here. You create feed bank, forage. Okay. And then you can, in this case, I could send them over individually, but I'm going to transfer them all. And now I have a feed bank. In this way, you'll be able to load up those analyses for the students and share the whole feed bank. And then when they get that, they can put it in their file folder and they'll be able to access it in the program. And I'll show you how to do that really quickly. So now I have this forage feed bank, and you'll see that I have my active feed banks shown and forage is checked. So if you don't see 3 columns, just click this bar here and then you'll see those, and make sure that that is active. Okay, then the next step is to email that or put it up on whatever file share the students are going to have. So if we look back in the file folders, back here in documents, and again, amts.cattle.pro, and you don't have to set any of this up. It'll do it itself when you install the program. And then we want to go to feed banks. And you can see that I have these different feed banks. I can just attach this as I would attach any other sort of file in an email. So this I am going to attach actually in the email that I'm writing to you. In this email that I'm getting ready to send to you, I'm going to attach a file, and I'm going to look in Documents, amts.cattle.pro, and Feedbanks. And then I'm just going to attach that. All right, so that would be, and then this file here, this feedback file can actually be put on whatever sort of share file that Richard's setting up for your program. But this is the easy way for you to get feeds with the analysis you want so that the students don't have to do it. So now when this gets sent off, the students would just save it in their feedbanks file and under Documents, amts.cattle.pro. And then they would be able to have access to it for all of their forages. So that's how you do that. Hope this helps. If it doesn't, just give me another email and maybe we can get on Zoom and I can show you step by step since you're not that familiar with the program. Okay, Ian, have a good day. Thanks. Bye.